Hey folks, it's Cortezerino. We are getting medieval today. I did a poll and asked you what should we do next in the old dystopia world, and you guys selected transforming a village into a Brothers Grimm style medieval village. So of course we're going to start the episode with a redstone monstrosity. So I've finished the Austrian city build, and usually when I finish a great big build like that, I do not feel like being creative at all. So I tend to go looking for things that I need to do around the world just for my infrastructure. And I did not really have good access to warped wood or crimson. This is what I have been using. I'd grow one tree, and then I'd go all the way up the top there and chop it down, and it was ridiculous. So I came up with this little idea, and it's actually not finished. I kind of want to put some TNT in this. So you would have seen in the time lapse, you just switch the old thing on, and it starts growing plants in there. And if we don't get a mushroom in there, the pistons will knock these little weedy things away, and we'll have another chance at growing a mushroom. And it bone meals them, and yeah, they grow up and they get pushed along until we get a great big mass of them in there. And the original idea, which it was taking me too long, I'm a bit rusty on the old redstone, but the original idea was to leave out the pistons every 3 or 4 blocks so you could drop TNT down in between them and blow them all up. But I got this thing working really great, but I did a little play with the TNT and it was taking me too long. So I thought, I'll just build this and chop it down manually. And so far, it is actually working really well. But I've made a super tall one here. I probably would have liked to put it in the base. The problem is I'd have to put it underground and then I'd just get mobs spawning all over this. It'd be really hard to light up. I have done... Actually, let's quickly leave this world and go on to the server I play on. So here we are on the Evermore server, and I've gone and built one here as well. I was actually able to build this one underground because we are on a mushroom island here, so I don't have to worry about anything spawning. But yeah, Megray wanted us to help her out on a big build she's doing, and she needed crimson, so I've just put this here for her. And yeah, I've actually dug out a whole nother area beside it because I'm going to make a second one for the warped wood so we don't have to bother getting in there and changing out the netherrack every time we want to grow one of the others. So this is quite a smaller version, so I've just got solid rock above my head so we don't have to worry about the great big trees growing. We're just doing the small ones here. But yeah, this is actually a really cool design. Really simple, very resource friendly to do. Yeah, and it works awesome. But anyway, let's stop talking redstone. I'm a little bit proud of myself with my cool design, but let's get on to what we're actually doing this episode. So in the poll that I did, I gave 3 options for what would be our next project, and If I hadn't done the poll, I probably just would have started on a farming area, a big farming community around my castle and city right here. Let's find a place to land so I'm not going crazy all over the place. Here we go. So you'll notice I've built all the houses over here, but I've left all that space around the... This is a terrible place to land. We can't even see what I'm talking about. Okay, this may be better. Alright, so all this area out here I've sort of reserved for a farming community because I figured the king in his castle here would have said to the community, like, don't build any houses out here because we need to be able to see the enemies coming and yeah, blow them away. So on all the other sides here we've got the river curling all the way around to defend the castle. So we want to keep this place pretty empty, so it's going to be all farmland with a few little farming houses. But yeah, that did not win the poll. So another option was for way over here. So we've got this big mountain range here, but if we fly over to the other side, we have a beautiful valley over here, all ready for building. and my idea was to do like a Tuscan sort of area. So we would have, well, to say Tuscan or Spanish villas, something like that. So we just fill up this entire valley with beautiful grapevines and fields of that and little communities popping up everywhere. But that was not the winner. I think that got the least votes actually. But the winner of the poll with more than 50% of the vote is for me to transform a nearby village into a Brothers Grimm style medieval village. And if you're wondering where the village is, you might have seen it, like little glimpses of it in previous episodes. You can see the smoke rising just over there. It's not very far away from our city here at all. And this is the village where I have gotten all of my villagers from. Now, I thought this would be perfect for a Grimm-style medieval village because it is surrounded by a dingy, dark forest, which I will have to cut down because if I'm going to do a big time-lapse in here of me transforming this entire village, we can't do it with all the trees in the way. But, oh gosh, some of these houses are super creepy. This should make a nice little Grimm village. But also, I need to clear out a few things. You'll notice there's no villagers, by the way. That is because this village is way too close to my base. And the zombies must have taken care of everyone. Although here's a box where I ran around here trapping villagers when I first appeared in the world. Oh yes, we do have some still alive in there. But we'll have to remove this box before we do our time-lapse, I think. But that is going to be the first step. I can't even start planning at the moment because there are just too many trees in the way. But so we're going to go ahead and do that. But what we're also going to do is I just did my castle tour and I mentioned a few things in here that were mistakes or that I'm never going to get around to doing. And one of them was this little walkway here. So you'll remember if you watched the castle tour that I said I actually should have built that out of wood like in the in real life version because that is a security feature. If the gates here are penetrated and there are enemies in here, then they can just get on the wall and go down there and they're into the main part of the castle. Whereas if it was made of wood, the defenders could just chop it down and then there's just a doorway right up there nice and high. So we are going to fix that, and I'll also have to do a few other changes in here. So there's not only this doorway right here, but there's also another one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this doorway completely because it's too close to this walkway, and if you knock this down, they could still get through that door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that door and put a second staircase from this room so we can get up to the top floor. But that's not all I have to do. Just over here, I was talking about the only way into the main castle then would be through this big reinforced door. But then I left it wide open up the top. So the baddies could fight their way across the castle wall here, and when they get to this bit, they can just walk straight in. So that is not good at all. So somewhere here, maybe right here or even over here, we're going to put another doorway in so the defenders can fall back and defend this area here. And that will probably also stop my castle guards from escaping because they could just walk off this and then they could walk out the front gate and that'd be no good. So guys, we're going to do these little alterations. If I can take off, yes, we're going to do those little alterations. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to clear all these trees and we will start designing something for our medieval village.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd run.
And this bit did not take very long at all, but you can kind of tell why I originally decided to build it out of stone. It looks a tiny bit out of place, but yeah, now it is much more realistic. And yeah, this castle has much better defenses in case we get a... Ooh, that's not the way. In case we get a huge pillager attack. So that door is gone. And what I've done on the inside here is I've put the walkway over here. So we've just got a little curly-whirly walkway coming up here. And this will be probably a little bit anticlimactic, but yeah, that's what we've got instead. But let's head over to the other area. And let's see if I can remember the way. Actually, I don't know if I ever showed this room in the castle tour. That's probably why I didn't show it, because there's not much here, just a little storeroom. But anyway, I did miss a room after all. Maybe it's up here. Okay, here we go. Shut the door so my pillagers don't escape. So I ended up putting 2 doors in. Yeah, because you wanted to get out, didn't you? So we've got one double door here, just for a bit of extra security. So, and another door over here. So the defenders can come in here. They can barricade that door, and then they can still look out here and help defend the great big door below. And then if that one is breached, then they've got another one to get through. But that's a little bit boring. Let's go look at something more interesting, because I just realized that I'd built 2 more houses at the end when I was building the city that I'd showed in the time lapse. So this one here and this one over here, but I've never shown you the interior in an episode. So let's have a quick nap so the creepers don't blow up my new houses, and I'll give you a walk through. I always say it's not the houses that make the village, it's everything you do around the houses. And I think I've done this one really nicely. So we've got lots of level changes here. So we come up a big staircase, and then you have to go up another one to get in the house. And then around the side here, you come up another level, and we've got this little sort of outdoor area. And just doing that just makes it so much nicer than having it all on flat ground. And yeah, I was just thinking this courtyard here was missing something before that house was in. So we had this great big gap up there, and I just thought that would be the perfect place to put a house. And it does look super cool from just looking down here up at that thing. But let's go have a look. So we've done lots of gardens around here. We've got a little garden here. We've got another rose garden just around the side, and yeah, another one around here. So it's lush and green and lovely. So this house is the Blacksmith. Now, this isn't your usual blacksmith. So you often think of them with a big outdoor furnace, and they're probably fixing hose and wheels and stuff. Well, this is a city blacksmith. So he probably spends most of his time fixing candelabras and stuff, so he can have a nice fancy shop with just a little furnace in here. So we'll go on the inside so he can sit here and serve all his customers. Here's his little workshop area, and we've just got a few blacksmith tools lying around. So definitely not your average blacksmith. This guy probably wears a tuxedo to work. And if we come up to the next level, we're into his house area. So here we've just got his dining room table and his little kitchen area. He's got a lovely little balcony out this side. Like, why wouldn't you have a balcony here when you've got such a nice view of the square? And we've also got a little balcony out the front. And I tried this out. I thought it was really cool. So I've got the leaves in the little thing here. But what I've done is every now and then I've put a grass block in with a bit of grass on top. And it just makes a nice, cool little change than just having leaves all the way across. And we've got one more level. Where's my staircase? Over here. There's the big chimney going up. And up here's just bedrooms. So we've got some lounge chairs. We've got a little kid's bed over there. And over here we've got the master bedroom. So while this guy is fixing all the little weird things, like maybe the beer taps to the pub, I figured we also needed one more building, because all of these shops around here, sure, they would get a lot of their supplies from the farmers directly, but there would be other things that they needed a big general store for, and this is the general store over here. So we've got a cool little archway in here. I absolutely love that. I talked about doing that a few episodes ago, and I think it looks super cool. And we've done a nice blackstone roof, and I've just mixed in the dark, what's it called? The dark oak wood in there as well, just for something a little bit different to set it apart from the church, make it look just a tiny bit less fancy. But yeah, this is a general store / warehouse because they need to keep a lot of stock in here just to supply all the shops in our city. And I've done my little water barrel thing here, so that is looking nice as well. But yeah, let's go into the inside, and the whole bottom floor is just the general store. So we've got a little serving area right here so they can pay for all their goodies. And then when we come on the inside, it's just shelves and shelves of all the little things they would buy in here. So everything's packed away into crates, but yeah, that is my version of a general store. And if we come up to the top here, we get to the warehouse section. So this was really easy to design. All I had to do was just put crates all over the place. And over here, we have something a little bit weird. So I needed a reason for this archway across the road. So I figured it's for when we've got really heavy goods that you can't bring up the stairs to put in the warehouse section. Then they can just use this little pulley system to pull it up through the floor here. And then that's nice and easy. You don't have to use the stairs. Let's jump down so you can see here. We are directly under our arch. So the wagon can just park right there. And they can lift it straight up. Ooh, and over here's another cool little feature. So they can also park the wagon here and take things straight up this staircase. So yeah, we've got that warehouse section there. And over here, just another little warehouse room with a little bit more storage up the top. So that is a very cool looking house. And if you got the world download, you might have found beds in weird places. When I was building this, I'd set a bed down and then I'd forget about it. So I think in the world download, there's a bed right here. It's not for sale. It's just me forgetting about it. You know, when I first did that poll and I did all the different options for all the 3 different options for what I was going to do next, if I hadn't done the poll and I had to choose for myself, I think the medieval village would actually have been the last on my list because I've sort of avoided doing, apart from the castle, I've avoided doing any medieval builds just because that's what everyone does in Minecraft and I enjoyed being a little bit different. But I gotta say, guys, you made the right choice. I am absolutely loving this. So after I cleared this, I made a copy of the world and I chose this house to be the first one I'm going to transform, and I've been mucking around on creative and I love it. I love it. I see why everyone wants to build medieval. You can do so much with it. It's so easy to build, actually. And it's great, especially because I'm doing the Brothers Grimm sort of fairy tale theme. I can just let my imagination go wild and do all kinds of crazy things. So everything I've done previously, like all my Japanese builds and the Austrian city, I've been copying builds in real life, and yeah, it hasn't been that much creativity in it really, but in this, yeah, I'm just going ham with it. It's great fun. So I haven't finished the design yet. I've just sort of done an exterior, but we're going to do this in a time lapse, guys. I'll finish designing the interior, we'll put this house in, and we'll come back and have a look.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening, no, I saw it. I saw it.
And 2 hours later, she is done. That chimney, guys, is the perfect example of what I meant by letting my imagination run wild. It is super wiggly and super cool. Absolutely love it. And the roof, actually, when I first designed this, I had this roof a lot creepier than it is now. So it was sort of leaning forward and overhanging, and that little dip in the middle was a lot more accentuated. But I've said in previous videos that, I like to do my houses with nice, neat lines and make them look really clean, and then just do all the greenery and like grass and bushes all around it, do them really overgrown and rough, and I think that is a lovely combination. So when I originally designed this roof, I was kind of looking at it thinking, oh gosh, it's a bit messy. And if I go ahead and do an entire village like that, I think it would just be too much. It'd be too busy and it wouldn't look nice. So I sort of toned down the roof and it is looking pretty cool, I think. So for this grim medieval village, I want it to be a little bit creepy. So a blackstone roof probably would have been the way to go. But I started building with the crimson, and I loved it. And crimson could go either way. It could be creepy or it could be happy and bright, So what I did is I mixed in the netherrack in with it. It suits it really well. And it's as if I'm saying, no, this definitely is a creepy build. So let's go in the downstairs. We've got 2 entrances. We'll go down the back one. And this is sort of at a glance, you would think that this guy is a blacksmith, but this is more of a workshop because people living out here in the forest, they'd be very self-reliant, so everyone would be able to do a little bit of something. So I'll do a proper blacksmith later, but this is just the guy's workshop, and he can also do a little bit of cooking in there. And, oh yeah, we've got a little door here as well. I forgot about that one. That is the original little house right at the front. So I just changed it around a bit and then added the rest. So we could either come up this staircase here into the main part of the house, or we could take this little staircase over here to get down the workshop. So not a lot in here. We've just got a couple of tables and stuff like that, a little living area, and then all the bedrooms are up the top. So we've got a little kid's bed here and the parents' bedroom out here. So you can probably tell I'm losing my voice a little bit. It's late in the day. This took me 2 hours to build and a whole lot more hours designing the thing. So we are going to leave the episode here, but I think we can leave it here on a happy note because that is done and looking awesome. I still have to do all the area around the house though. This is still the original village stuff. We will change all of that later. So anyway guys, that is it. So once again guys, very good choice on the poll. I am having lots and lots of fun with this. I think we will continue with the polls actually. So we've done this house. I'll do another poll to see what we are building next in our medieval village. Oh man, this looks so cool. So cool. Thanks for watching guys. I'm Cortezerino. I'll see you later.